Man, dude, the World Cup is insane. I mean, look at these guys, like peak athletic performance.
I could do that. I could easily win the World Cup.
Dude, what are you talking about? You're literally 2 inches tall.
You don't think I would win? Alright then, let's make a bet.
Yeah, sure, dude. I'll take you up on that bet.
I'm going to train so hard, and you are gonna be so jealous. This is actually really hard.
So this is my tiny quadruped robot, Sesame, and as you just heard, he wants to play in the World Cup, but he's obviously too small for the real field, so let's build him a miniature one. While we're at it, let's make it even more like the World Cup. Let's add in some cool cameras that follow him around when he plays. Maybe we should add in some software that plays sound effects and detects goals and stuff. While we're at it, let's build a bunch of Sesames and then bring them to a giant event.
We are here at Open Sauce 2026, and this is the Sesame Soccer Arena.
Okay, that's cool, but how did we actually get here? So obviously, as you just saw, I built a miniature arena for my miniature dog to play soccer in. Since he was going on and on about the World Cup and how if he played in it, he could totally win the whole thing, I figured I'd make things interesting by actually building him a miniature soccer field that he could play on.
I am going to be the greatest soccer player ever. I walked in a circle multiple times, because circles are friendly. I love playing soccer.
Now, even though Sesame clearly enjoyed that, he was still complaining that there wasn't any competition. And I was like, Sesame, don't you see this amazing field with all these awesome 3D printed components? Components that were printed on a Bamboo Lab P2S, which is the sponsor of this video. Hey, was that a pretty good segue? Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, locked in the basement. Yeah, that's right. Bamboo Lab sent me their all new P2S printer, and it's freaking awesome. I've used the Bamboo Lab P1S, other brands, and many printers for a long time, and I can genuinely say the P2S is pretty dang good. This thing just prints stuff at high quality and very quickly. And some new features like the easily switchable nozzle have come in genuinely handy because I wanted to print these goals at a lot faster speeds, so I was able to just switch to a 0.8mm nozzle, which saved me a whole bunch of time when printing the goals out. Bamboo Lab makes great FDM hardware. The P2S is a really good piece of machinery, and that's a fact. Great hardware is great hardware, no matter what software you're using in the background, okay? And from that perspective, you can really appreciate a great printer like this, and I really appreciate them sending it over and giving me creative freedom with this video. So if you're interested in the new P2S, there's a link in the description you can click to check it out. Alright, so to give Sesame what he wanted and make it a more competitive and interactive experience, I'm gonna need people to control the robots and watch it on the big screen. So let's tackle that first issue, controlling the robots. You see, right now Sesame is controlled with a phone. It basically broadcasts its own Wi-Fi network, and then you can connect to it and the sign-in page becomes the controller. Since it's super inconvenient for people to pull their phones out, I need the system to be based on controllers instead. And we can't just plug these controllers directly into Sesame, we've got to keep it wireless. So what I did is I integrated a protocol called ESP-NOW. ESP-NOW is essentially a fast, low-power wireless communication protocol made by Espressif Systems that lets multiple ESP32s, which is the chip controlling Sesame, communicate with each other. That means they can also communicate with a central board that sends out all of the commands for all of the controllers. We can have up to 4 controllers connected at the same time, and the data is so lightweight that it just streams in real time to all of the robots with very minimal delay. This is actually really neat because I can essentially control a whole swarm of Sesames or integrate autonomous control, which I might experiment with later in this video. You may have also noticed that all the Sesames you see here are multicolored prints, and they're pretty high quality prints at that. And that's because the Bamboo Lab P2S combo comes with the AMS2 Pro. It's a faster and higher quality color changing system, and it's really quite nice. I used this color changing system throughout the project for the booth signs and all of the Sesame enemies. Alright, with control solved, now we just need to figure out how to broadcast or showcase the games as they're running. Well, massive companies like FIFA have entire teams running media production. There's hundreds of people working as fast as possible to get all of the content published and to get the live stream running. And quite frankly, I don't have hundreds of people, so I need to automate it. That's where all of those sensors and cameras and inputs that I mentioned earlier in the video come in. I've got 3 cameras facing the field, and 2 of those cameras are robot cameramen. They can pan and tilt in any direction, and I can control them with my computer. And then the one camera in the center is a top-down 120-degree FOV camera that can see the entire field in one go. This is important because it's our main way of collecting positional data for both the Sesames and the ball itself. We collect all this positional data because we can actually use it for production. Let's say we can see the ball going into the goal, well, we can detect that going into the goal zone and say someone made a goal. Or as it gets closer, perhaps we play an audience cheering sound to increase tension and excitement. I think this whole system's really exciting actually, because it's purely visual. It's 3 cameras looking at the field, and they're collecting data based on visual cues, specifically fiducial markers, which are kind of this computer vision marker system that is easier for computers to read, and it's all really interesting to me. That's why I put this entire project together into an app called AutoProducer, and you can download it via my repository, although it's very specifically tailored for this soccer field, so it's more of just an educational resource. That being said, what is AutoProducer? Well, it's basically a giant Python stack, and each application in this stack is working together to be an automatic producer. One that can intelligently decide between camera angles, control different aspects of the game, set scores, and export an OBS scene that can be live streamed. Usually I'd explain the whole system, but I'm just going to talk about my favorite parts with Sesame.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
One super interesting one is the CamBot aiming logic. It works by having the bot servo itself using only the onboard camera ball detection. And they actually completely ignore the overhead camera, and originally I had it using this data, but I figured out I didn't really need it.
It sounds like you were too lazy to use it.
Okay, maybe a little bit, but once it finds the ball, it's pretty accurate and doesn't really lose it. What's really cool to me is that it was a case where I had to let go of chasing accuracy and chase stability instead.
I thought those were the same thing.
Actually, they're pretty different. Let me explain. The overhead track is more correct on average, but it's just too jittery when extrapolated to a specific robot's aim, and jittery signal into a control loop just becomes visible twitching, and no matter how true the number is, you still get these bad results. Realizing that the worst sensor was technically the right sensor for this particular job felt like a small shift in how I think about control loops generally.
Wow, that's so insightful and interesting. I wish I understood.
It's okay, you'll understand it eventually. Another really interesting aspect of this whole program is the homography calibration.
What the hell is a homography calibration?
Don't worry, it's not as confusing as it sounds. Homography calibration is all about finding where your 0 point is located, and it works by heavily smoothing the 4 corner marker positions before computing the field mapping, but it doesn't actually apply any smoothing to the resulting ball position.
Wait, but wouldn't there be some wiggliness with the ball tracking?
That's exactly what I thought until I faced a bug where false kick events would occur. Essentially, it thought the ball was moving when it really wasn't actually moving. And the fix only clicked when I stopped treating smooth the output as the answer. The corners are supposed to be static, so noise there is just pure noise. It's safe to kill that noise, but the ball is supposed to move unpredictably, so the smoothing just adds lag. Smoothing on the input instead of the output fixed the bug without costing any responsiveness.
How are you even tracking the ball in the first place?
That's actually a really good question. Did you know that with enough training data, you could just make your own machine learning vision model?
Yes, I did actually.
Well, I didn't know that until I had to do it for this project. The ball detector system is another really interesting area. Originally, I used an HSV filter, which is clamping down all of the colors and visual pixel data from a video input into some kind of data that a computer can analyze, and we were looking for roundness. So a white sphere does actually kind of show up on this, but it was just inconsistent. With different lighting environments, it completely stopped working. So what I did is I manually labeled over 180 images of the soccer ball in my environment with various lighting. Those labeled images could then be used to train a custom YOLO vision model.
Wait, YOLO? Like, you only live once? Awesome!
That was pretty close, actually. YOLO stands for you only look once, which means my custom machine learning model only looks at each frame once and then just moves on. See, that was pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, I don't know, it was kinda boring actually.
Well, that's just the surface. I've actually done a full write-up on my website that you can read into and learn even more about this interesting program. Now that we have a rough idea of how the system works, we need to test it thoroughly through an environment that is unpredictable, exciting, and has lots and lots of cool people. That's right, Sesame, we're going to OpenSauce 2026, one of the biggest maker events in the world.
Oh my gosh, no way! Do you think I can meet Michael Reeves?
I don't know, we'll see, but somehow we got one of the biggest booths at the event, so we better get moving.
Alright gang, we're here at OpenSauce 2026 with the crew back at it again.
While we were running the booth, one of the biggest things that we ran into was the fact that every single Sesame needed its battery changed pretty regularly. And honestly, without Colin switching out all the batteries for me, I don't know if this would have worked. Thanks, Colin, for all the free labor. And if I didn't have any of my amazing team, I don't think this would have been possible. So thanks, guys. Every time I do an event like this, I feel like I'm always forgetting components for the projects, but we actually ended up bringing the Bamboo Lab P2S with us to the event, and because of its incredible speed and quality, we were able to prototype out parts that we forgot at home or forgot to design. Now, the other alarming and disappointing thing was that the cambots themselves were a bit glitchy. And I think that was partially due to the fact that throughout the event I had to use the HSV ball tracking, which is significantly less reliable than my custom YOLO Vision model, but at this point I didn't have that YOLO Vision model. It was only until later I started looking into that. Regardless of the minor issues, this event was awesome, and we got a lot of press and interviews for the Sesame Robot Project, and I'm really excited to see the community embrace it. One thing did stand out though, a lot of people were asking if the Sesames could drive autonomously and play soccer against each other. And what I realized during the event is that, yeah, that's totally possible. All of the data we're collecting includes the heading of every robot, its position in relativity to the field, the soccer ball, goal detection, and so much more, so it's entirely possible that we can feed this data into something like a heuristic algorithm that can control the robots and allow them to play against each other. And so when I got back from OpenSauce 2026, that thought was looming in my head, and I was actually planning on just finishing the video after the event, basically making a remote control soccer field with cool cameras. But the reality is, I saw more potential in this project, so I got started. To integrate this autonomy system, I genuinely just duct taped it onto AutoProducer. It's running a simplest possible loop where Sesame will turn its heading left or right until it's facing the ball and then just walk towards it. Definitely not my most complicated approach to autonomy, but just for fun, I also added a few small local LLMs running in the background so that the Sesame bots can argue with each other and that kind of thing. So now that we have our duct tape solution, it's time for Red to go against Blue in a totally unbiased match of Sesame Soccer.
Is that your top speed? Adorable.
You got this, guys. Maybe I have to help them out.
Beep BOLP. That's robot for get wrecked.
Go. Oh, lost the ball. insane kick.
You call that a kick? My grandma's Roomba hits harder.
Probably have a clear shot. Come on, Blue. Come on, Blue. Come on, Blue. No! Come on. Yes! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! Let's restart. Let's restart.
Nice drop. Better luck next
Like
reboot.
this, like this. Okay, go. Come on, Red, I believe in you. Come on, Blue. Come on, Blue. Come on, Blue. Oh my... You might be the worst soccer player ever. Bro. Oh my god. Blue. It's so lined up. It's so lined up. It's so... Blue! You're so bad. You're so bad. Please.
You walked into that one. Literally.
Come on, Blue. Oh my god. It's right here. It's right here. It's literally right here. Come on, Blue. Come on, Blue. It's in the goal. It's almost in the goal. Blue, you got this.
The scoreboard's gonna do the talking for me in a minute.
Come on, Blue. Blue! You did it, Blue. Good job, buddy. Congrats.
Hey, hang on a second. Speaking of winning, Sesame, didn't you say that you were gonna win the World Cup?
Well, technically Blue is also named Sesame, so therefore I won.
You know what? Sure, why not, Sesame? You win. So what do you want as your prize?
I want you to subscribe to Dorian right now.
That's a good choice. Well, if you guys liked this video, please let me know in the comments, or if you hated it, also let me know in the comments. Thank you so much to Bamboo Lab for sponsoring this video. If you want a Sesame kit, join the waitlist in the description, or join the Discord and come chat with us about it. Okay, bye, see you in the next one.